Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. And today's date is February 14th,
Happy
2025. Happy Valentine's Day, Samantha.
Happy Valentine's again. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of relevant to what we're talking about today, which is calendars. So I mentioned the date because we're kind of talking about politics today and things are so rapidly changing. As Samantha mentioned recently, the current administration has been really, really aggressive with the executive orders and rolling back anything even remotely, possibly related to DEI or just related to marginalized communities in general. Since, as this comes out, it is President's Day, which I think we have off. It's funny to me how many holidays I'm not entirely sure we have off. I'll be working that day because an unfortunate thing, but I must work. But I did want to stop and talk about all of the months and holidays that the administration is trying to erase, and not just the administration, because we are currently seeing huge tech companies absolutely fall in line with Trump and his extreme policies around this. So in late January, early February, people started noticing that Google had started removing things from their calendar. Black History Month, Women's History Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Pride Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, and Jewish American Heritage Month, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, National American Indian Heritage Month, National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Well, things like Columbus Day, which I thought was gone already, but all right.
What's supposed to be?
Here's back. And President's Day remain. Okay. Obviously, this caused a big backlash, but the company claims that this is something that they started implementing last year because it, quote, wasn't scalable, and that they just couldn't keep up with all the events and holidays and observances around the world. But the timing is very interesting, I think we can say. They were basically like, we can't keep up with all of them. And people rightfully mocked them for it because they're this huge company that collects data. Anyway.
That collects data, that has decided to do calendars as part of their thing, but they can't do it. Also, what does erasing have to do with keeping up?
I know.
There's more work to erase it than it is to leave it.
That's true. It was already there. And also, weirdly enough, some of their doodles, like the Google Doodles, still observe these occasions. Like there was a Black History Month one. There was a Lunar New Year one. They also have curated playlists around things like this. So, okay, outside of Google and tech, the Defense Intelligence Agency removed a video about the Tuskegee Airmen, which was a group of segregated Black men who fought for the U.S. in World War II. It eventually was restored after pushback, but I'm not sure if it's still up. A part of the reason Black History Month is celebrated in February has to do with Douglas Day, celebrated for Frederick Douglass's birthday on February 14th, which, again, timely as we record this. This was something segregated schools in D.C. would celebrate. In 1926, that grew into a week-long remembrance and also involved Lincoln's birthday. In the 70s, it became Black History Month. Since 1996, every U.S. president has released an official proclamation about Black History Month. But not now. All right, so Google, along with a lot of other tech companies and other companies at large, pretty much eliminated their DEI initiatives with the reasoning that they are a federal contractor and have to comply with the administration's policies. Just a reminder, Google's company slogan is "Do No Evil." So more than 500 million people use Google Calendar, me included, so this is a big deal. It feels like kind of a small thing to talk about, but it communicates so much, and I do use it. Samantha and I we work on this show, and we forgot it was Women's History Month in March.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, to us, it's always Women's History Month. But
correct,
and that's gonna be the case with us with all of these things. We're gonna keep talking about them, no matter the month, and especially during the months, no matter what they say. But it is kind of. It was a nice reminder. It'd be like, oh, yes, thank you. It is Women's History Month. on top of that, both Google and Apple have changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America on their maps. Also, if you're interested, probably not surprising, but this is a hugely contentious point in terms of borders and wars. Like I believe there's a whole episode on tech stuff about Google Maps and how the borders impact wars. So look into that. I know that's not related to calendars. I just want to put that in there. And then also just to mention, I've been talking about this anecdotally with a lot of my friends, but we've also done research. Some of it is in our Manosphere episode, but the misogyny online is getting worse. And it's spreading to offline spaces too. And yeah, like I said, we're going to keep doing this stuff beyond the months, during the months, all of this as an intersectional feminist podcast. It does matter. And obviously, Black history exists whether a president endorses it or not. And Black activists have been fighting to preserve it for so long. So we need to elevate these things at all times. But it is very troubling because so many people do use things like Google Calendar. Yeah. That's that. That's where we are. And it's changing so quickly. We'll see what happens because there is a lot of technology things we need to talk about. And luckily, friend of the show, Bridget, is coming back. She is so good at illuminating these very complex and distressing situations and providing resources. So that's very exciting. But there's a lot going on when it comes to technology and all of these things.
Right. And one of the ways that we are rebelling is making sure that we are not a part of being that erasure. And I say this as a royal we, you, the listener, and us as the host, but coming together and like acknowledging that. So,
yes.
Yeah. Let's keep doing it.
Yes. They say in Star Wars, welcome to the rebellion. Come on.
We're just waiting.
It's the first thing I hear.
She was so excited.
Sorry. But yes, listeners, if you would like to contact us, you can, including on some of these many platforms. You can email us at hello@stuffmonevertoldyou.com. You can find us on Blue Sky at Mom Stuff Podcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Mom Never Told You. We're also on YouTube. We have a TeePublic store and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina, our executive producer, Maya, and our contributor, Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Mom Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.